Hello friends, welcome back for another In the Kitchen video. I have a really fun and yummy recipe for you today. It's a jalapeno popper dip. So whether it's game day or just a fun day with friends, if you have jalapeno fans, this is a simple must-serve dish. So here is the recipe and I will put it in the description box below. I do half this recipe because Andrew doesn't care for this dish, so I just make it for myself. That's a little mini Corel casserole dish. There are my jalapenos, and these were frozen. So aside from being a little watery, they tasted fine, and I didn't notice anything different with the flavoring when it baked up. I just used some paper towels to help absorb some of the water. Once I got done cutting up the jalapeno, I got to cutting up the bacon. I needed 6 strips because they were cut in half, and the half recipe calls for 3 strips of bacon. So I'm pulling that out of my baggie and going to get to cutting that. I had this bacon pre-cooked in my fridge, so that was one less step I had to do. And you just want to go ahead and cut the bacon up into bite-sized pieces. Not too big and not too small. Next up, I got my mayonnaise ready. I needed a half a cup, so I scooped that out into the measuring cup. And then I needed a 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese, which I already had shredded, and then my green onions, which I already had prepared as well. For the green onions, the recipe calls for 1/8 of a cup, but I normally just throw in a handful or to taste. I like the flavor, so I use a little bit more. One of the last ingredients that I needed to prepare was a half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. This is just a white cheddar, and I'm just using a box grater on the medium grate. One of the yummiest parts of this dish, I think it's kind of its secret weapon, is the Parmesan cracker crust. So basically what you do is you get some butter and melt it, and then you get some Toll House butter crackers. They have to be butter crackers. What I do is I put some in a baggie, and then you just gently massage the crackers until they start to crumble. You don't want them totally pulverized, but you need them into small enough chunks that it makes like a kind of breadcrumb-ish type consistency. Okay, so now that you have the crackers all done, you just want to go ahead and dump those into the butter, the melted butter. I just use the same Pyrex dish that I used to melt the butter with. Then you want to go ahead and add your 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. We like the Whole Foods 365 brand. Dump that in there. And then I go ahead and add a little bit of garlic oil. I just love the flavor of garlic, and you don't want too much, but it will also help make this coating come together a little bit better. You just give it a really good stir. Make sure everything gets well combined and that the butter and oil coat all those crackers. So I set the prepared topping aside, and while I have the oil near me, I go ahead and grease the pan with some of the garlic oil. Of course, instead of garlic oil, you could also use extra virgin olive oil or vegetable oil or butter. Okay, now with all my ingredients prepped and ready, I'm going to go ahead and get my stand mixer put together. I love this paddle attachment with the rubber blade. You want to put the cream cheese in, softened. I normally go ahead and give it a couple beats though, just to break it up. And the friction will help warm it even more. Okay, next I'm going to add the mayonnaise. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the sharp cheddar cheese that I grated, followed by the 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese. Then I'm going to add the green onions, the jalapenos, and lastly the bacon. Lower down the paddle and give it a whirl. I don't beat this on high. I do probably about medium low. Once everything is combined, you want to go ahead and scrape down your paddle and then prepare to load it in your dish. Okay, so now that the mixture is all prepared, you want to go ahead and start filling up your baking dish. You want to go ahead and try to fill it and then flatten it out as much as possible. Then you have your butter cracker crumble crust and spread that on top. I like to make sure I get it in all the corners and again as evenly distributed as possible because it'll help brown evenly. Okay. I think it's done. But it's bubbling. Top is browned. All the things you want. Now it's going to be piping hot, so I'm not going to be able to eat into it right now. I'm going to take it out and let it cool, and then we'll have a little bite together. Mmm. Yummy, ooey gooey cheesiness. Look at that. Definitely worth the wait. I highly recommend you make this recipe if these ingredients sound good to you. It is just, I don't know, so good. Definite crowd pleaser. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to be notified of more content I post. And until the next one, guys, have a good one.